Let's get more on this now with Colin Alexander in Sheffield in the UK. He's a senior lecturer in political communications at Nottingham Trent University. Welcome to the program, Colin. It seems like South Korea was totally unprepared for these drones from North Korea. Do you think Seoul was caught off guard by this?
They seem to have been, yes. And I certainly from reading about this over the last few hours, it's actually, I'm not an expert in the South Korean military, but certainly it was rather surprising to know that they didn't have a sort of functioning drone unit, because the border between North and South Korea, which is known as the demilitarized zone, it seems that that's a rather obvious place in order to enact drone technology, in that this is an area of land about 2.5 miles, about 4 kilometers or so, where, and obviously humans can't go there. So with the advances in technology of this kind, it seems like drones are the kind of obvious thing to do, whether it's for reconnaissance purposes or, as your report indicated, it could also be for offensive purposes as well.
And we know that Yoon Suk-yeol, the current South Korean president's predecessor, was really looking to extend an olive branch of sorts to the south. We do have a hawkish South Korean president right now. Are we likely to see more confrontation, or at least the brink of confrontation, between North and South Korea under President Yoon Suk-yeol?
The answer is that remains to be seen. I think that South Korea has quite a few domestic problems, and they probably don't need to be moving into further confrontation. Let's just let's call it. So the answer is I don't really know. North Korea's policy, though, has been largely reactive to what the South is doing, and one of the big interesting parts here is when you have an authoritarian regime and a democratic regime trying to engage in some form of light diplomacy. The authoritarian regime largely is largely consistent in how it approaches things, whereas with turnovers of electoral power, like we've seen in the case of Moon Jae-in, to President Yoon, what we then see is that there is a significant amount of disparity between the approaches, which first of all unsettles North Korea, but also may well, and I guess the North Koreans might find that quite frustrating as well. But also, President Moon and President Kim of the North built a relatively decent platform, and that seems to have been undercut now.
Okay, Colin Alexander, we will have to leave it there, but great to get your analysis as always. Thank you for that.